of Westlife? That legendary boy band that took us on a wild ride, leaving us breathless and begging for more? I mean, those guys were the real deal. The original heartthrobs, winning hearts and breaking rules. And when it came to awards, accolades, and recognition, they were racking them up like it was nobody's business. Westlife's rise to fame was anything but smooth, from identity struggles to explosive member drama, a shocking departure, and even a heartbreaking split. This group has lived it all, but the real story, it's wilder than you think. Stay tuned, because what you're about to hear will leave you speechless. So, here's the tea. Kian Egan, born on April 29th, 1980. Mark Feely, born on May 28th, 1980. And Shane Fillon, born on July 5th, 1979, were all homies back in the day at Summerhill College in Sligo, Ireland. They were living their best lives, participating in school productions like Grease, alongside their Sligo squad, Derek Lacey, Graham Keegren, and Michael Garrett. Fast forward to 1997, and these six talented dudes decided to form a pop vocal group called Six as One, later rebranded as IOU. They were managed by the fabulous Mary McDonough, a choreographer with a keen eye for talent, and two other managers who were low-key looking out for them. Under McDonough's guidance, the group dropped their debut single Together Girl Forever on Sound Records. But let's get real, Westlife's start was rocky. So what really happened? You see, Lewis Walsh, the mastermind behind Boyzone, discovered the group after Shane Phelan's mom May reached out to him, but things didn't exactly go as planned. The group failed to secure a record deal with BMG, and Simon Cowell delivered a devastating blow. Cowell told Walsh, "You're gonna have to fire at least 3 of them. They've got amazing voices, but they're the ugliest band I've ever laid eyes on." Talk about harsh. Needless to say, some tough decisions had to be made. Derek Lacey, Graham Keegren, and Michael Garrett were let go, and new auditions were held in Dublin. That's where Nicky Byrne, born on October 9th, 1978, and Brian McFadden, born on the 12th of April, 1989, entered the picture. But the drama didn't end there. The new group, formed on July 3rd, 1998, struggled to find a name. They were initially called Westside, but had to switch it up to Westlife due to another band already rocking that name. Fast forward to the good stuff. Westlife landed a £4 million record deal with RCA Records. Their big break came in 1998 when they opened for Boyzone and the Backstreet Boys in Dublin. That performance was everything and more. Ronan Keating from Boyzone even joined forces with Lewis Walsh to co-manage the group. Westlife's first live TV performance was on The Late Late Show on November 13th, 1998, and they performed Flying Without Wings. It was pure magic. These guys were just getting started, but they were already bringing the fire. In April 1999, they dropped their debut single, Swear It Again, and it straight up dominated the charts in Ireland and the UK for 2 whole weeks. It was the best-selling single by a debut artist in its first week, and everyone was obsessed. But they didn't stop there. Their second single, If I Let You Go, hit the scene in August 1999, and it made them the first boy band to score 2 #1 singles right out the gate. Can you even handle the success? These guys were on a roll. Their self-titled debut album, Westlife, hit the streets in November 1999, and it soared to #2 in the UK and #1 in Ireland. The album was a game changer, making the biggest chart jump in UK music history, leaping from number 79 to number 3 in its 58th week. In Scotland, it debuted at number 6 in 1999, but then peaked at number 1 2 years later. In December 1999, Westlife dropped their 4th single, the iconic double A-side, I Have a Dream, Seasons in the Sun. And guess what? It was the ultimate mic drop moment, the 1999 UK Christmas #1 single and their 4th #1 single. Talk about making history. But the ultimate recognition came on July 1st, 2000, when they were honored as Freemen of the Borough of Sligo. This prestigious title is only given to those who've promoted the town and county of Sligo, Ireland. Westlife was officially cemented as the chosen ones, with vocals that were straight fire. Then came Westlife's sophomore album, Coast to Coast, released in 2000. It was their first #1 UK album, and they snatched that top spot from the Spice Girls' Forever album. It was a major key, becoming the country's 4th biggest selling album of 2000. And fun fact, It was their second #1 album in Ireland. The album was preceded by 2 major hits: their duet with Mariah Carey, Against All Odds, Take a Look at Me Now, and the original song, My Love, which earned them their second Record of the Year award. Both singles slayed the UK charts, reaching #1, their 6th and 7th #1, respectively. Can you even believe it? Westlife broke the record for the most consecutive #1 singles in the UK with their first 7 singles. However, their 8th single, What Makes a Man, debuted at #2 in December 2000, breaking their streak of consecutive #1s. But here's a wild twist. Their single, My Love, was allegedly used by the CIA as part of a torture program in Afghanistan. According to the ACLU, the song was used to assault prisoners' senses. Like, what's the T, CIA? In 2002, Westlife dropped their 11th UK #1 single, Unbreakable, amidst rumors of a split. But they weren't going anywhere. They released their first Greatest Hits album, Unbreakable. The Greatest Hits Volume 1 in November of that same year, and it peaked at #1 in the UK and Ireland. That's what I call unbreakable. During this time, Westlife made history, achieving a Guinness World Record for most public appearances by a pop group in 36 hours. That's phenomenal. And they didn't stop there. They released a TV documentary, Wild Westlife, directed by Ian MacDonald, giving fans a glimpse into their daily lives as musicians and their tour experiences. It was the ultimate behind-the-scenes look. But just when things were going great, disaster struck. On March 9th, 2004, just 3 weeks before their 4th world tour, Brian McFadden dipped out of the group, citing a desire to spend more time with his family. Can you even imagine the shock? Fans were left reeling, wondering what was next. But in a sweet goodbye, McFadden made one final public performance with the group at Newcastle upon Tyne's Powerhouse nightclub on February 27, 2004. He then went on to kickstart his solo career and reverted his first name back to its OG spelling, Brian. Less than a month after McFadden's departure, the group bounced back with their turnaround tour. They were determined to keep it moving. In September 2004, Westlife slayed the World Music Awards, snatching the title of Best Irish Act of the Year. It was a moment of pure glory. They then dropped their 5th album, Allow Us to Be Frank, a Rat Pack-inspired masterpiece that peaked at #3. Although no singles from this album were released in the UK, Ain't That a Kick in the Head got a sick music video and was released as a physical single in other European countries. Smile and Fly Me to the Moon also got the music video treatment. On December 15th, 2007, Westlife premiered a 2-hour show called The Westlife Show, where they performed 10 of their songs, hosted by Holly Willoughby. And as if that wasn't enough, they embarked on the Back Home Tour on February 25th, 2008. This tour marked the first time they performed in New Zealand, with 4 sold-out shows in Auckland, Wellington, New Plymouth, and Christchurch. Westlife was the 7th top touring act of 2008. To celebrate their 10th year in music, Westlife staged the sold-out concert 10 Years of Westlife in Croke Park on June 1st, 2008. But in a shocking twist, the group announced that they would be going on hiatus for a year after their Back Home Tour. Fans were left reeling, wondering what was next for these Irish heartthrobs. In March 2011, they kicked off their 11th major concert tour, the Gravity Tour, and as of 2011, Westlife was the longest reigning band and second longest reigning #1 music act in the 21st century in the UK. They were on top of the world, But in a shocking move, Westlife confirmed on March 14, 2011, that they had left Simon Cowell after 13 years and his record label Psycho Music after 9 years. It wasn't a messy breakup though, they just needed someone who was more hands-on. After inking a new deal with RCA Records, they announced their greatest hits album would drop on November 21, 2011. And guess what? It debuted at #1 in Ireland and #4 in the UK. The first single, Lighthouse, was released in November 2011, followed by a promotional single, Beautiful World. Then, the Greatest Hits Tour was announced on October 18, 2011, with dates in the UK confirmed for May 2012. The farewell tour was a wild ride, with 8 dates in China and 33 in the UK and Ireland. They sold a whopping 489,694 tickets from the tour. Can you even imagine the major bank they made? But in a devastating twist, Westlife officially announced on October 19, 2011, that they were breaking up after the tour. Fans were left reeling, trying to figure out what went wrong. I mean, these guys had been bringing the heat with back-to-back hits, but they just couldn't keep it together. And with Westlife, you really couldn't predict their next move. It was a shocking end to an epic era. After the split, all 4 members went on to release solo albums and singles. These guys were the epitome of fame, and fans were still dying to hear them. But here's the thing, it seemed like each of them wanted to pursue solo careers. That was until September 23, 2018, when it was announced that the group had signed a new 5-year album and tour deal with Universal Music Group and Virgin EMI Records. And let's be real, everyone was stoked. On October 3, 2018, the group officially announced that they were working on new music, and fans were over the moon. It was like a dream come true. But there was a twist. McFadden wasn't part of the reunion, saying in an interview with Closer magazine, "I only met the guys when I joined the band, and I have no regrets about leaving." On December 19, 2018, Egan and Fee Hilly posted a pic of the group's first rehearsals together in 6 long years. It was like the ultimate tease. Then on January 10, 2019, they dropped their first single since 2011, Hello My Love. It was a major comeback, and fans were freaking out. Y'all, let's talk awards. Westlife is straight fire, and their trophy case is overflowing. They're the proud owners of 4 Guinness World Records, and that's just the beginning. They've also snagged a World Music Award, 2 Brit Awards, 4 MTV Awards, and 4 Record of the Year Awards. It's like they're the ultimate award magnets. But here's the thing. Westlife isn't just about the accolades, they're also about giving back. They've performed live for charity on Sports Relief, Macmillan Cancer Support, and were even part of the Helping for Haiti charity single, which dropped in February 2010. They've also teamed up with organizations like the Royal National Institute for the Deaf, Cancer Research UK, and many more. It's like their love for charity knows no bounds. Now moving on to Shane Fillan's personal life, and let me tell you, it's hella complicated. As the lead singer of Westlife, he's had his fair share of highs, but his life hasn't been without its lows. Fillan married his childhood sweetheart, Gillian Walsh, on December 28, 2003. They went on to have a daughter in 2005 and sons in 2008 and 2010. Sounds like a picture-perfect life, right? But here's the thing. Fillan's life wasn't all smooth sailing. He and his brother Finbar ran a property development company, Chafin Developments. Fast forward to 2012, and the company was placed in receivership. Talk about a major blow. And to make matters worse, Fillan was declared bankrupt just a month later after taking a hit from Ireland's property crash. That's just wild, fam. From the top of the charts to rock bottom, it's been a wild ride for Fillan. And then Mark Feely. In August 2005, he made a bold move and publicly came out as gay. But here's the thing, Mark Feely had known his truth since he was just 14 or 15 years old. His fam, bandmates, and close friends were all in the know. But Westlife's manager, Lewis Walsh, was clueless. Kfili had kept his private life on lock, unlike his bandmates, who were always spilling the tea in interviews. And fun fact, Kfili had even dated women before coming out. But after he finally shared his truth, the reaction was surprisingly chill. In an interview with the Sydney Morning Herald, Mark Feely, that even though Westlife's fan base is mostly female, there was no major backlash. Talk about a sigh of relief. Fast forward to 2019, Feely announced his engagement to Kayleen O'Neill on Instagram while they were living it up on vacation in the Maldives. And just a few months later, on October 3rd, they welcomed their adorable daughter, Layla, via surrogacy. Y'all, let's get the tea on Key and Egan. Before Westlife, this cutie was working it at a jeans store, but Egan's life took a dramatic turn when he married English actress Jodie Albert on May 8, 2009. And then the bombshell. On July 31st, 2011, the couple announced they were expecting their first mini-me. Westlife's Facebook page spilled the beans that Albert gave birth to a son, Koa, on December 20th, 2011. Fast forward to 2014, and Egan and Albert announced they were cooking up another little bundle of joy, due in the spring. And on May 21st, 2015, they welcomed son number 2, Zeke. Their third son, Kobe, arrived on September 29th, 2017. Talk about a full house. But here's the kicker. Egan was ranked number 5 on Ireland's Sexiest Man of 2014. He's got the looks and the talent. And last but not least, let's get the scoop on Nicky Byrne. This charmer married his high school sweetheart, Georgina Ahern, on August 5th, 2003. They had a civil ceremony at the Wicklow Register office, followed by a church blessing on August 9th, 2003. And fun fact, they've got 3 mini-me's running around. Yo, it's time to give it up for the Westlife crew. They're all living their best lives, and their bank accounts are looking straight fire. Shane Filan, 45 and thriving, has bounced back from that major bankruptcy drama with a net worth of 2.5 million euros. Talk about a comeback. And then there's Mark Feely, 43 and killing the game with a whopping net worth of 12.6 million euros. This guy's got the Midas touch. Kian Egan, 44 and on top of the world, is raking it in with an estimated net worth of 20 million bucks. That's some serious cash. Last but not least, Nicky Byrne, 44 and still bringing the heat, has a reported net worth of Westlife's been blessing us with their sounds for years, and we're forever grateful. So here's to the Westlife crew. You rock, and we're still obsessed.